Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Preparation Ape, your number 3 spot for discussions about VR, discussions about, your intersexuality and really, being a wanderer, finding yourself. This is, of course, moving to, as of next week, Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. A little bit of a better time slot, I think.
Yeah.
Not only for you guys, a lot of the viewers here, but as well as us. In its place, me, DKP, and who are you?
Major Time.
Yes. Well, I will be in sometimes Major Time, if time permits. We'll be filling up the Prep 8 time slot on Fridays with a solo stream / group stream / bondanza, what have you.
Perhaps a marathon stream or two.
Yes.
Do some long night streams.
It's extremely possible.
Yep, that could happen.
So, yeah. Number 23.
Episode 23, can
the
you believe it?
Lawnmower Ape. I like that one, too.
Yeah.
And of all our little sort of mini subtitle, whatever, titles, I guess I like this one. Not the most. We're still waiting for episode 100, which will be Revelations.
Yep.
But we'll get there.
It's going to get real rowdy trying to come up with names once we, I'd say cross, the 50 mark.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Let's do this. We're going to, yeah, we already did that. Let's do this. We already.
Eventually we'll have to start taking, porno names.
That sounds great.
It does.
Yeah.
So what's on the Residox tonight?
Tonight we are dedicating the entire hour, minus the win stuff money and games you should have played.
And QA.
Yes, to virtual reality. So PlayStation had their big event on March 15th, which was Tuesday, to discuss release date and pricing information for the PlayStation VR.
We finally got it.
What's up, Pebiv? So we're going to take some time and talk about PlayStation VR. We're going to talk about the Oculus Rift, and we're going to talk about the HTC Vive. We're going to kind of do some comparisons of the three specs, price, release date, etc. And then we're going to go into 15 different games. It's not necessarily our 15 most anticipated games or the 15
just
most
some
interesting games.
Things.
Yeah, just 15 games that just kind of stood out to me in one way or another. Tried to get a good variety of games so people can kind of get an idea of what the hell do people play on these things? At least for the first year, at least launch year. And that's the thing is this is the launch, basically the launch of a new console. So
you're
going to get
it, kind of.
Absolutely. You're going to get a lot of shit. You're going to get a lot of games that are probably not as good as they will be in a couple of years.
Well, I mean, let's just cut the shit. Hey,
so
Paints. It's gonna suck for a little bit. Now you'll have things that are good.
For sure.
And there will be the system sellers, if you will.
And it's all suck, relatively speaking.
Well, that's the thing that we talked about a little bit. Because this is such a new thing, and it's not just new the way we was new. It's this is kind of different. It's motion controls. Yeah. This is really a huge leap in the next thing. So even things that suck will still have merit just because they're part of this new fucking thing.
Yeah, and
which I think will be good.
When you buy a console at launch, you kind of take the risk on some games. You're like, I'll check out this knack for PS4.
I'll buy Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Yeah, exactly. You take the risk on a couple of games just because it's I want to spend more time with this console. I want to have a reason to come back to it. So it's not just necessarily the games that are going to be good, but games you just want to kind of check out. I always make sure I get a racing game and a sports game and all these different types of games when a new console comes out. Because you want to see a breadth of what it has to offer. So.
Yes. Well,
without further ado, let's get into the comparison.
I've had enough of this ado. Yes.
So
credit to IGN.
Yeah, credit to IGN. I stole this straight from their wiki page. So as far as the titles are concerned, we are discussing the PlayStation VR, the Oculus Rift, and the HTC Vive. Please.
Let's talk about the names real.
Yeah.
Oculus Rift, I think it's a good one. Sounds pretty cool. This is all kind of just actually leading up to saying, I really think HTC Vive fucked up by calling it HTC Vive.
Yeah.
Because when I first heard that, I'd heard people talking about
HTC. I love HTC as a brand.
Well, yeah, I'd heard people talking about the HTC Vive for a while, and what I honestly thought that was
a new phone.
Was a phone accessory.
Yeah.
Because that's the only thing people fucking equate HTC with.
For
now,
sure.
Valve has, really gotten behind this thing. They could have even called it Valve VR, or
for sure,
or something like that, or just the Vive.
See, Valve VR to me sounds cool.
Yeah. Like I said, I really think they fucked up on that. Now, the one thing that will save them, I think, is that this is supposed to be like the premier model,
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
white glove, so to speak. So if that wasn't the case, I'd say that out of the gate, I think it would have the weakest chance of survival.
Yeah, and as far as PlayStation VR is concerned, like, how generic of a name can you fucking get?
Well, but I mean,
no, it makes sense in terms of being able to, mass market it, like get it out there to the world. PlayStation VR, like, you know what it is, you know the brand, you connect it with gaming, like, it makes a lot of sense.
I think Oculus Rift is probably going to be the one that makes it the furthest because it's that middle price.
Well,
so,
it's owned by Facebook too, so that kind of has a huge.
Well, there's that.
A huge factor.
There's that. It's the middle one in price.
Yeah.
And people aren't going to want to go for the lowest one necessarily because you said it's basically graphics wise, it's like the Wii
and
we'll
we'll get into a lot of that,
okay.
But I don't know if I necessarily agree with you because I think that there are a lot of barriers to entry for Oculus Rift and Vive.
Yes.
As far as like mass consumers are
PlayStation
concerned,
VR is going to do really well because of the
buy
PlayStation crowd.
4, buy a PlayStation VR, you're
right.
good to go.
But as far as like the alternative to, hey, I don't own a PlayStation, like I want to do VR, I think the Rift is going to take it just on price point.
Yeah, I think that people that know what VR is are invested in the technology.
Yeah.
Are people that would watch this. I feel like Oculus Rift is the most appealing of them.
And this is actually, I just put this together in my head just now. Yeah. This is a fucking. I might have just called it.
Crack the case.
Perhaps. So check it out. Remember what happened with we talked about this recently on stream. VHS and Betamax.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you know why VHS won out?
Porn.
Yes.
It's also why Blu-ray has done so well. Why Blu-ray beat HD DVD.
But that is also why I bought a Rift. Specifically, because the VR porno that I saw available was only compatible for the Rift. And it looked like... So if porno chose the Rift, well, fucking this might just be another beta VHS scenario.
For sure. I think it's going to be a huge factor in it. So Pebiv's Rift has the hippest name, which, I think we agree with that.
It's pretty rare.
So dumb question. I see Rift... All right, let me...
it has an Xbox controller. It comes with
an Xbox controller. It works for the Xbox and PC, so it will work for the Xbox and PC.
But they do have first proprietary controls that they are going to be releasing. Now, I think separately from it.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure that you just connect it to your Xbox One like you do with PlayStation, PlayStation 4, and PlayStation VR. But I know that they do have a big picture mode or whatever where it presents the game within Oculus Rift, being able to watch it like you're playing it in a movie. So, on a huge screen.
Right.
Pev says, was wondering the same thing, Ankin. So, I'm not 100%, but I know that it will support Xbox to some extent. And it might just be because Xbox is starting to go kind of cross-platform.
Yep.
At least cross-platform as far as Xbox exclusives are also on PC.
Which is weird, but it's also exciting.
I think it's the right move for them, but I do think it's it's very telling of what the next Xbox will be.
Well, fucking, there's that, and hey, man, if you allow me to play Quantum Break on my PC rather than an Xbox, I'm very happy about that.
2 weeks away from.
Man, there were some ass hurt people. But that's not what we're talking about tonight, though. Let's get to this. So wait, we actually, I thought we got off track, but we actually didn't. We covered price points, not in their specifics. Do you want to?
Before we dive into that, I want to hit a couple of these comments. I only have an Xbox One and PC. I would lean towards Rift if it does for the price point. Ankin says, I could stream Xbox One to my Windows 10 PC to my Rift, I guess. And then Paint says, nice. Seems like it. So, I think that the option to play your Xbox game through an Oculus Rift is going to be... So, to jump into price, the PlayStation VR is going to be $399. Plus, it's going to cost you $59.99 for a camera and Move controllers. They did just announce today...
It was in a bundle?
That there'll be a bundle for $499 that will include... the PlayStation VR, the PlayStation Camera, 2 Move controllers, and a game called PlayStation Worlds VR, which I believe is probably a compilation of a lot of these smaller experiences that take 10. Which I think is important. It's like Wii Sports. Wii Sports to me works so well because it's not just bowling or it's not just tennis or boxing. It's it's a lot of those put into a package
the thing is with
everybody
that, though,
can kind of grab.
Would you play Wii? How inclined would you be to play Wii Sports by yourself, though?
I mean, I have played it by myself
because you can't share these fucking headsets,
and that's
not at the same time, at least.
The big thing when this launches is this is a big step in technology, and most people, including the people that are probably watching this, they just want to see what it's like.
No, that's true.
Similar to Wii Sports, it's you just want to kind of experience what it has to offer. What makes this different? What makes it unique or fun or engaging?
But that's what you have pornography.
It's true. That VR porn, man.
VR porno.
Sweating. PlayStation hardware seems pretty solid. I'm leaning towards Rift per the wine rule. Sorry, by the second cheapest every time. But the PlayStation is solid and a tempting option. The Punisher is coming.
What's up, guys?
What's up, Idify?
How you doing, my friend?
Man, I'm definitely going to go home and watch more Daredevil. But to not get us on a tangent, maybe we'll talk about that during. Yeah, I mean, so it is going to be a $500 bundle if you want to get that experience. And from my understanding, pre-orders are only the bundles. So you will, when it comes out, be able to buy just the headset. But in order to get PlayStation VR from a GameStop or a Best Buy or an Amazon, you have to buy the bundle at $4.99.
Uncle actually has a really good point regarding VR porn. Scares them. If someone walks in, you never see them.
That's very true.
It's definitely one of those things you have to batten down the hatches, you know.
Yeah. And he's got kids and a wife, so that's gonna have to be one of those nights where it's like, I'm taking the kids to 30 miles.
Baby, you
from
come over here. I'll be renting this. I'll be renting Valhalla out.
You and I had that discussion, yeah. Like, there's gonna be times where it's like, oh, you got the Oculus Rift and you downloaded a bunch of badass porn. Like, go buy yourself dinner. I'm gonna chill out at your house for a little while.
Exactly.
And, I'll make sure to get some wipes and stuff to keep things clean.
No, we'll line the room with wipes.
Sounds good.
I'll put my face on this couch.
So for $2.99 an hour, you can rent out DKP's Valhalla room for pornographic.
All right, we're not going to price points on that. Those are TBD. Yep. But that's fucking way too cheap.
$2.99.
Hour, like a minute.
Idify says, "LOL. What if someone walking in on you now?"
Yes.
I would definitely say that this would be the Wii Sports for me on what the new experience would be. Was the first Wii title I popped in. Same shit, says Idify. Sup, Idify? Yo, Paints, wubba dubba. I need a VR mom catches you watching porn game. What's up, baby?
That would be truly the scariest game.
Yep.
Let's see, display resolution. So this is interesting.
Yeah, this is where you really get down.
Yeah, you called
the juicy details.
For the second time I brought this up, you called the PSVR kind of the Wii of the VR. Now, if I recall correctly, the highest resolution it could get was 720.
Yeah, basically.
So yeah.
When I'm referencing that,
it's definitely falling into that category.
The comparison there is that the Xbox and 360 the Xbox 360 and PS3 were like HD consoles and had these great graphics through like Gears of War and such.
Yep.
But the Wii, couldn't output that much. It wasn't super powerful. It was basically a GameCube with motion controls. So this is kind of the equivalent. It's going to be the low end model and low end price as well as far as VR is concerned.
It also only comes with one screen.
Yeah, so I think that's really interesting. I
thought all of them had to.
IGN, I watched a few videos and they were doing a comparison. And the Rift and Vive have a screen for each eye, and then the PlayStation VR is just one single screen across. So I think that also helps with the cost.
It's like fucking Gambit.
Yeah. And it kind of looks, to me, it's the coolest looking of the three. But we'll get into all of that. So, it's going to be a little bit more powerful. The Oculus Rift and Vive are basically like the exact same. I mean, if you look, they're the same things. They've got the same things or information going on here. Field of view is 100 degrees for the PSVR, and then 100 to 110 for the other two. And then the max refresh rate is 90 hertz or 120.
Wins on them hertz, though, man.
It does have the hertz. It puts the hertz on them.
But all right.
And then the Rift and the Vive have 90 hertz. So I think I don't know.
Trust me, that's fine.
Yes, it's going to be fun.
It's
like if you back in the day when you got an HD TV that was like 60 refresh hertz.
Yep.
60 refresh heart rate.
Heart rate?
That heart rate's going crazy right now. And then when you got 120, that's when everybody's like, your TV looks like a soap opera, or it looks like they're real people, or whatever. Shit. And people are like, I don't like that, or I can't get used to it.
I can't see the Hobbit.
And you get to a point to where you get so used to it, it's just whatever. But yeah, that's 90 hertz, 120 hertz. That's where it starts, where the clarity really starts coming in. So,
which is tremendous.
Just to hit some comments real quick. Paint says that's my fetish in referencing the mom catches you watching porn. Specific. Says my comment directed at Amkin, whether he's watching porn on a computer, on VR, or the same thing. It's the same thing. Kevin says, I wonder if they go faster because they don't have to sync two screens.
No, it's not the same thing. Because if I was in here, that was the case. and let's say
Oh.
let's say VKP walked in, it would be, huh! And then I'd be rolling, getting covering up. And this, she'd come in and it'd be like,
Yep.
and she'd probably just close the door really quietly, and I might not never know she even came in.
Yep.
But shit would just be different, and I'd be like,
it might actually be better because that feeling of embarrassment just doesn't exist.
right.
They wouldn't bring it up. You wouldn't bring it up. You're like, sorry if you caught me jerking.
But then, there would be that thing where something's different, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And then it's like, ever since, it happened about last summer. She just changed, and then kind of the marriage went down the shitter. I'm not sure what it was. Maybe it's, yeah. So that is terrifying.
Yeah. Pate says, can't forget about that Google Cardboard. Yes, we can, and any Google Cardboard comments from here moving forward will be ignored.
Yes. Or you know what? Actually, removed by moderators.
You see that?
Out of 5, Pepin, fellas? Come on. You guys, we're relying on you guys for this shit.
That feeling of embarrassment is what I get off on.
Well,
yes.
Then perhaps you'll have your caught-catching porn game.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
They caught me slipping.
They caught me slipping. Until you hear "No rush when you are done," and you throw the headset off and break your $600 VR set.
Like, now clean it up! I'll be able to buy me a new one of those.
No dice pants stays. Fuck you, Idif. All right, let's move on.
Let's.
Okay, so system requirements for PlayStation VR. It requires a PlayStation 4. Pretty simple.
Yeah.
For Oculus, it requars an NVIDIA GTX
Hashtag
970
danger
or
link.
an AMD 290 equivalent or better, an Intel i5 4000 or 4590 equivalent or greater, 8 gig plus DDR3 RAM, HDMI 1.3 video output, 2 USB 3.0 ports. And then Vive is basically the same thing.
Except it requires one USB 2.0 or greater. What the fuck? But does it require one or USB 2.0 or greater? Oh, I read that wrong. So it could be USB 3.0.
Yep.
I think someone has walked into our home.
You want to go check it?
No, that's the cat trying to crawl in underneath the door. Okay, never mind.
Cool. So, and then as far as audio is concerned, the PlayStation VR has built-in 3D audio. He's checking to see if we have intruders. If you see us die, please call 911. Send them to these residents. Nope, we're not dead. The cat's in the room, though. Someone let the cat in. Audio is built-in 3D audio for PSVR and Oculus Rift, and then none for HTC Vive. Gotta have that fucking 3D audio.
Wait.
And my pops.
There's no audio for HTC Vive?
Not built-in 3D audio. So it's audio is going to be a separate entity. You just put some fucking headphones.
Nah, I'll go with the pre-built-in thing every day. Oh! Do you want to party with Eddie Murphy? Oh, you better believe it, baby. You better believe it. All right, we good.
What's up, Eddie Murphy?
We good to move on?
So yeah, I think we're good to move on. While you're moving
All
on,
right.
I'm going to hit a couple of comments. Idify says he's contemplating
I've already
buying a PlayStation. So yay, join the party. Pev says, is the USB for the controller? I'm not 100% sure.
I think the USB is one. It might be for the actual Rift, and the other one might be for the camera that goes with it.
Yeah, perhaps. Or the input options.
Or it could be the controller, and I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. That's very possible.
Idify is sad that he's buying a PlayStation. RIP. Sorry, my heart goes out to you. Yeah, it's either get a PS4 or upgrade my PC.
Upgrade your PC. Join play with me.
Play with me. No, get a fucking PlayStation 4. And then Idify says, same paints. And then Pev says, Paint says, I'm sure the cost would weigh out about even either way. Yeah, probably so. So, to hop back into our comparison, as far as connections for PlayStation VR, it's a VR headset, HDMI aux stereo, headphone jack, processor unit, HDMI TV, HDMI PS4, USB,
Back
HDMI
this up a little
auxiliary.
bit. Oops.
You're going
Sorry.
forward right now.
Sorry. There we go. All right. So, requirements just a PlayStation 4. But look at the.
I wish I would have got a picture, but there's a picture whenever they announced it that showed all the stuff that came in the box. And I'm like, oh my god, there's like fucking 75 cords in this.
See, that's insane. Once again, Oculus looks like the easiest.
Yeah.
The most simple solution.
HDMI,
it's
USB.
that sweet middle price range, too.
Yep. And everybody knows what those two things are.
Yeah.
So, I mean, everybody knows what all the shit is, but it's a lot less strenuous. So as far as the connections for Vive, it's a 3-in-1 connector to interface the box, including the HDMI display, port, USB, and power.
And let's take a look at this. Also, Oculus being the lightest out of the two.
Yep.
Which, by the way, I'd also just like to fucking say, I had no idea until just now the weights on these.
Yeah.
1 pound?
Yep.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I don't know how much I expected these things to weigh.
Yeah.
But 1 pound? Like, I've taken shits
Yeah,
that
you
weigh
think
more
about all
than
the
a pound.
technology that's in there. Yeah,
That's
pretty cool.
ridiculous.
The PSVR is 1.34 pounds. The Rift is 1.03 pounds, and the Vive is 1.22 pounds.
But
so
PSVR, excluding the cable, though. The
Yeah.
cable weighs 7 pounds. Come on.
it's one of those like Xbox bricks.
Oh,
which-
God. You have to, like, literally pack up, fucking throw it in a backpack on when you wear it.
Just to come back to some comments real quick before we get into
Awful.
those sensors. Paint says, I'm sure the cost would weigh out about even either way. Pev says, Oculus is making a real strong argument. Oculus the lightest, which I'm guessing is important with you. Absolutely. And then Notify says, I don't know, I have a PC, I don't have a PS4. Nugget says, get a PS4, stay away from the cheater consoles, aka PC. He's starting them fucking console wars hot and heavy.
Dude, that's
right now.
every single night on Chainsaw.
Well,
I don't know.
Nugget, I appreciate you getting him started.
I was about to say, Nugget, been a while, my friend.
Yeah, he actually
Welcome back.
He's been in India for the last month, and they don't have internet in India.
They don't?
No, they totally.
Do they have boats there? I wonder.
I don't think they have boats. They might, just because like the trail of bodies that they have to like.
Yeah.
Apologies for any of our Indian
friend,
fans out there.
our friend Kyle he's from England, and when I first met him, one of the things I asked was like, imagine you get a lot of stupid questions, right? So what's the dumbest question you probably think you've ever gotten, like, from an American? He's like, well, once someone asked me if we had boats. I was like, yeah.
You guys got boats?
I do not, no elaboration needed to say why that's ridiculous.
So to get into sensors, all three have accelerometers, all three have gyroscope, magnetometers.
What about blast processing?
No blast processing.
No blast processing?
The PSVR has
Oculus
PlayStation
does.
eye tracking.
You can't get that with the HT.
You gotta track them
Oculus
eyeballs.
does.
I think that's pretty cool that they do eye tracking, similar to like the 3DS.
So we got eye tracking. That means you got tracking, and then we got camera
Tracking
laser
sensor array, and then you have
Is this all the
front-facing
same
camera
thing?
laser sensor.
But they just have like what they call it, or are these literally different features?
So eye tracking is actually in the unit itself.
Yeah.
So if you look left, let's say that you use your eyes to aim. If you look left in PSVR, your reticle will go.
No blast processing, no deal.
No deal.
Tremendous.
And then a tracking sensor array is just tracking. So if I move my entire head left and right, it
and
can
then
track that.
The Vive comes with a laser.
A laser.
I'm really fucking sorry. I should not have pulled out Austin Powers.
You should always
references.
pull out Austin Powers.
Nah, dude,
we need more Austin Powers.
No,
references.
we need. I know we already have a lot, but we need more Tom Hanks references.
That's true. I have AIDS.
we
So then,
gotta
consumer
get on the
release date.
Philadelphia references.
Consumer release date October 2016 for PSVR. Next month, or I'm sorry, this month for Rift, which comes out next week. You're getting a Rift, but you didn't get on the early enough pre-order, so you're not getting yours until June, correct? You're getting like the second or third round.
Actually, I don't know.
I feel like when you got it, it said that they're shipping you.
Right, but what they said they were also going to do
If they produce
is,
them fast enough, they may send it early.
Well, maybe. But they said there were a shitload of fake pre-orders, like thousands. So they're going to go out and weed those out, and then your ship date might move up like by a matter of months.
That'd be cool.
Plus, I've looked on mine. It says just TBD on when it's ship, so I don't know. Any day now.
And then next month for the Vive. So just to hit some comments, what's the front-facing camera laser sensor for? No fucking clue. Just tracking
asks the Borg.
And then David App says, describe each headset with a Tom Hanks film title.
Okay, so PSVR is definitely Philadelphia. It's the AIDS of all of them. It's the weakest.
No.
It's the weakest.
It might be the least
physically.
powerful, but it doesn't make
Yes, much like Tom Hanks in Philadelphia. His T-cell count was low as shit.
Okay. PlayStation VR is
fine. You know what?
Big.
Here, hold on. Let me
PlayStation VR is big.
Let me try again. Since PSVR is by itself on PS4, it's Castaway. It's on its own little island.
Still not a good comparison.
The gyroscope is Wilson.
Okay.
What do you want from me?
PlayStation VR.
Then what's good?
Here's my comparison.
You go.
My comparison. All three are great. Okay.
Yeah, all Tom Hanks movies are great.
No, they're not.
What are you trying to say?
What I'm trying to say is that you have to pick three good Tom Hanks movies. So
Splash or whatever the fuck it was.
No,
it wasn't good. Was
PlayStation VR? I either say Big or Turner and Hooch.
What? Wait.
PlayStation VR and Oculus Rift. I agree. Is like it can be Forrest Gump. Oculus Rift can be Forrest Gump.
Why would? No, dude. Okay,
Forrest Gump is great.
Hold on. I think we're doing it completely wrong.
We are. Well,
you're going on how good the movie is. I'm going by like the movie,
the content
of the film. Yes. Because if you're
calling
the story,
you're going based
Oculus
on the plot.
Rift is definitely
specifically the plot.
It doesn't have to be the plot. It could be the character fucking Tom Hanks plays.
Okay.
It could be anything from the. Like I equated PSVR, right? Yep. Because it's only available on PlayStation by itself, separately, as Castaway. Because it's on its own little island, right?
Yep. Now
you just called the Rift retarded, but important in history.
No,
which that's Forrest Gump
again, not plot.
Important in history. Apparently set in motion a lot of things, but retarded. Like love the guy. I mean, that's not a bad word.
Hard,
merely factual.
Forrest Gump.
Yeah,
he can be kind of a challenging person to get along with.
Oculus's Toy Story, not be PSVR, bitch.
Yeah, let's hit some comments because there's some good ones here. PlayStation is big, says Pebbiv. Idify says as long as you can watch porn on all three, who cares?
Well, big. It is the big. It weighs the most.
Yep,
he's right.
So I was the one who said big first, bruh. It's the family friendly option. It's the movie. It's the one you watch because it's easily accessible. Everyone can get into.
That's Forrest Gump.
No, there are people. They're way wrong in life,
dude.
There are people who don't like Forrest Gump.
Remember that epic, really heated argument about DLC and Amiibos?
Yep.
That's gonna pale in comparison to
whoever started this fucking Tom Hanks conversation.
Movies.
You're going down. 8-Bit Ab says PSVR is Joe versus the volcano. Bebev laughs at Onken. Onken says PSVR is big. A little kid that wishes it was an adult.
Hey, I like that one.
So Paint says Idify, argument done. Idify says Oculus is Toy Story. Onken says Rift is Castaway. Really great, amazing in concept, but too far out of the way in price.
What are you talking about? That would be the Vive.
We need a poll. Yeah, let's get a poll. We'll get a poll going on the Facebook group. So
Idify, you made a? Yeah, can you know how to make polls? You know how to, if you could do that, that'd be fucking great. I think that's a good call. And it was 8-Bit Abs, I think, who said described the Forrest Gump film. Thank you for that, by the way. All right.
Yeah, somebody go into
I could literally talk about this for a fucking hour. Right?
This is the best tangent we've ever gotten on. Pep says, I'm concerned HTC Vive is Apollo 13, too complex and breaking in and expected. Yes, that's good. That's good.
And it's one that apparently I'll just never see either.
So, yeah, just to move on, we got the consumer release dates, and then controllers. DualShock or PS Move sold separately. Xbox One controller or remote is included in the Oculus Rift, and then the HTC Vive has 2 wireless controllers.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Wait. So the never mind. I was gonna bring in it was something with controls to bring in how many controls there were. Yeah. A Lieutenant Dan reference. It ain't gonna work. Yeah. So fucking let us move on. Are we good to move on?
Yeah, I think we're about to get into the games, but before I get into the games, I want to add a couple of points. So
it better not be about Forrest Gump.
No.
Or about Tom Hanks.
I'm good on that. So with PlayStation VR, I think it has the greatest chance for widespread success, and I would say kind of similar to the Wii. A couple of reasons. Number one, it's the most user friendly to just get into. Also,
is it though? I mean, look at all that shit.
Yeah, it just comes with a bunch of cables. If you're one of the 40 million people who have a PlayStation 4. You have one of the 40 million people who have a PlayStation 4. And it's going to be inevitable that this holiday season there's going to be PSVR, PS4 bundles for $800.
I'm with you as far as if you want to look at sales alone.
Yeah.
Just because
similar to the Wii, it's just going to it seems the most user friendly, but also I've heard that it's the most comfortable of the three. It although it is the heaviest, it has better head support than the other two. The other two just strapped to your face, with a belt kind of thing.
Comes with a man that drips into your eyes like a clockwork orange.
Anka says HTC gives you 2 controllers, So each person uses one eye on the headset. No, the way the controllers work, they're like controllers that fit in each hand.
It's like a if there was a boxing game, you would hold on to two like. Yeah, there's no way for me to do this.
Just imagine you're
nicely,
jerking two people off.
You know, two dicks. Yep. Comes with two dicks.
How much is the HTC? It's going to be $799.
$800.
Rift
is what, 600 or 700?
600.
600, yeah.
And then the PSVR is 400. Or if you want to get the bundles, which from my understanding will be the only option at launch, it's going to be 500.
Yeah. But you'd also have to buy a PS4 if you don't.
Yeah. Or you'd also have to upgrade your PC for the other two, tremendously so.
You don't. I don't have to.
Well,
not this guy. No, you don't.
Well, I need to.
I gave you that 980.
Yeah, I need to install that 980 for starters, and I need to pay for that 980. It's just sitting in the box, and I just look at it and go like, God, I owe this motherfucker.
I'm just glad I got it out of my house before something could happen, and then I'm like, well, fuck.
Yeah, we haven't shaken on it, so it's officially not mine.
I'll come over tomorrow and install that bitch.
So yeah, I think that PlayStation VR has the best chance to be successful as far as mainstream. In the short term,
I agree with you.
In the short term, I think long term, Oculus Rift does. If you think about Facebook owns Oculus Rift,
right?
So Facebook ads for Oculus Rift, fucking every time you go to Facebook.
I cannot wait for the day, and I'm actually very bummed out it's not here already. I would love to be able to walk in a virtual environment and hear everyone that I care about, semi-care about, and kind of don't know, all give me their opinions on this year's political candidates all at once. I would love that. Because it's like, here's the thing. In real life, you're not supposed to talk religion or politics. That's not couth. You wouldn't do that. But on Facebook...
You know what I can't wait to watch?
That's the place to do it.
I can't wait to put that Oculus Rift on and then watch those videos that's like a top-down view of people making food. They're like, here's some flour. And you throw an egg in there, and you mix it up. And then, there goes your Nutella, or whatever the fuck it is. I can't wait to watch those videos on my fucking Oculus Rift. Paint says, I think PSVR will blow up just for the accessibility.
I can feel the spit on my face from them yelling. This is so real.
Rift would be a second just for the rest of us. The Vive will be that expensive Mac when you should have just bought a PS4 upgrade. Idify says, Bernie Sanders are okay. In VR, the bird feels you. Pep says Oculus Rift, pop it with invites to play Candy Crush. Ooh. I want to go pop some fucking candies. So yeah, there's a couple of other things with VR. Did you hear my voice crack just now?
I did.
There's some other things. There's a couple other things I want to talk about with VR, but in the interest of time, we'll either save it for the QA and see where we're at, or we'll just talk about it later. Let's move on
later,
because we also want to show off 15 games.
Yes. Speaking of 100-foot robot golf.
So, 100-foot robot golf is a PlayStation VR exclusive title,
which is fucking just ridiculous.
We are going to talk about several exclusive titles for each of the different ones.
Not to toot my own horn, and I'm not going to toot your horn.
Please do.
I'm not going to give you a toot. Sorry, it's going to happen. But we saw the world premiere of this live at PlayStation Experience.
We sure did. It was a blast. I had a good time.
My collar seems ruffled suddenly. I'm not sure. Yeah, but I like how it starts out as golf and then it's just
and then it turns into like this.
This
hits a ball to earth.
This is honestly the sort of thing that I think will sell me on VR. Like just goofy garbage shit like this.
Yeah. I'd buy that for $1.
Hey, you fucking better. But
so,
PlayStation 4, baby. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, with this, there's a corgi with a VR headset on.
Now I'm
so with this set of 15 games, I didn't necessarily pick anything in particular, but I did want to get a good variety to see, so we could kind of see the different types of games people are thinking.
How do I want to do this? Yeah. We just want to just play trailer after trailer after
trailer? Yeah, play a trailer, talk about it. When we're done talking about it, move the fuck on.
I don't... Well, that's what's got. Should we talk about it, or just want to play through the trailers as they come up, shoot the shit about them, and move on? Yeah. So we got 15 of them.
Yeah, we do. So I feel like we want to get through them.
All right. I'm in all agreement.
Let's do it.
No one wants a 3-hour-long prep ape. Some people are here just for win stuff money, man.
That's true. They want that $25. So Ace Combat 7, and one of the things that you and I were talking about before the stream is that these VR headsets are probably going to have us play games that we don't normally play. And flight simulators and games like this don't really interest me too much. Excuse me, but in virtual reality, I'm super intrigued by that.
Yeah. That's actually something I said earlier. So, Anankan asks, do you have to have a PSVR for Super Robot Fighting Golf or whatever it was? I believe so, yes.
Yeah, I think it's exclusive.
So, we've been kind of, I guess we want to call it broadcasting, streaming, whatever, for a while. And even prior to that, for about a year before then, we did a podcast. We never released any of it, really, because it was all just like, practice runs to make sure we get it to the point, where we want it to get.
Hold on, I love this part where he goes under this bridge. It's so fucking fast.
Yeah.
Sorry, continue.
And then eventually that just, evolved into us doing the stream instead. But one thing that's very common that Tommy gives me shit about, or I've heard a lot, is I'll be like, no, I don't like this sort of game. This game genre. And shocker, man. You don't like any
TKP
games.
doesn't like this thing.
So
it's not a survival horror game or a Souls-esque game.
So yeah, but I've caught shit about that a lot, and it's sports games. I don't like racing games or any sort of like driving. I don't like my commute to work. I don't like this shit. But I even said to him, I was like, when it comes to VR, I feel like even walking simulators can be appropriate. You know what I mean? Like, we'll have a place where walking simulators suck shit, but just because VR, you might be able to be just immersed enough to where it's like, well, I won't walk around in a game when I'm sitting here in Valhalla fucking, watching this shit on the TV, but if I feel like I'm actually walking in the place due to a, suspension of disbelief and immersion, that might have its place and be worth it. That's why VR is kind of, I don't know.
I also feel like just in general, games where you are sitting down, which is how we play most games, if not all, except for like motion sensor games. Games where you're sitting down are just going to be better. You're going to be able to immerse yourself in the experience of sitting there a lot easier than a game where you're walking around and having to use a joystick to walk forward.
Yep.
You're like, I feel like I'm in this world, but I'm still pushing forward on a joystick to watch. So a game where you're actually like, what's the word I'm looking for when you're just sitting there? Whatever.
Sitting there? Immobile?
That works. That's not what I'm looking for, but it works.
Stationary?
Stationary. Thank you. A game where you're stationary, like a flight simulator or a racing game or any type of thing where you're in a car. I feel like that's just going to be a better experience and more immersive. But I don't actually know, so we'll see.
We will find out.
iFi says the NES Top Gun of VR, perhaps. Dude, I'm not a huge Madden fan, but Madden VR, be the quarterback. Cash cow, you just sold 3 billion
sitting
VR
simulators.
Sitting
now,
simulators.
You say sitting simulators, but I'll have you know at Donda Incorporated, we are pioneering shitting simulators.
Gotta have that shitting simulator.
Yes.
I want that VR TP, baby. I want to be able to pull that shit out the roll.
We're always looking ahead to the future, my friend. DLC, come on, that is the way of the future. You got your fucking 1-ply. You got your 2-ply here at Donda, baby.
Yeah. I really, Are you a soft or strong kind of guy?
Then I gotta have something with some grip. Right?
You like that fucking sand?
If they sold fucking toilet paper with fingernails on it, I would fucking wipe my ass with that just to make sure.
So Allison Road, if you couldn't tell, is very...
it's basically PT.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see a lot of games like PT.
Yeah.
I wanted to find a trailer for Paranormal Activity VR because I've heard a lot of great things about that, but there is not a single fucking trailer on the internet for it, so I'm sure that's going to be sexy.
Once again, Paranormal Activity, man.
Yeah, Paranormal Activity couldn't give a shit about the movies.
Dude, that's the fucking...
Hold on, this part where you actually start seeing the monster. You can continue, but be mindful that...
Okay. Dude, fuck Paranormal Activity. I should have to say this. I've never been more upset leaving a theater, because it was basically... Fucking, I paid money to watch somebody sleep, and then watch them watch a video of themselves sleeping. I was so fucking angry when I left that theater.
Dude, this game just atmospherically speaking. Oh shit, who's in that house?
Oh no, the Unity engine. Yeah. I mean, I don't think this game would be that fucking great without VR. As far as like super atmosphere, unless you fucking have good speakers. You're sitting kind of close. You turned off all the lights, But the things with VR, like, you don't gotta do all that garbage. It's just there. You don't have a choice. The lights are off. It's fucking great.
So, just to hit some comments, I love space sims and flying games. Love to play Elite Dangerous with a Rift. all I play in Battlefront is Squadron. Yeah, that'd be dope.
Hardcore Henry. Do you know about that movie?
Of course.
I was thinking about that earlier. As far as when are we going to start seeing movie experiences that are like that?
Yeah.
Which that I guarantee will be coming soon, or for sure. Who knows when?
Yeah.
But Hardcore Henry. That's like a movie that's made for that sort of shit.
For sure.
You know what
Although
I mean?
it's kind of like, it could be one of those things that is so like visceral and real that you're like,
you get
man,
like, well,
that guy just got fucking cut in half. I'm like,
well, there's that, and as far as like motion sickness, you know that there's going to be certain ratings on these games that rate like how comfortable they are to play, like so people don't get motion sickness.
I don't know. This is something that I'm sure people have seen in their life, but not everybody's experienced this. Have you ever seen like a dead body, like from a car accident or something? Just like you pass a car accident and you see a body bag, you see like a hand or something. If you've ever seen like a legitimate dead body that's not in a coffin, like that feeling is just like your like heart drops, your stomach drops. It's like one of the most disturbing feelings you'll have. So like if VR can get you to that point, like, ugh.
I don't know, man. I think some people, me personally, when there's a traffic jam that's that long, I'm literally like, somebody better have died for this.
Somebody should have died.
Like, if it's this long,
I'm a soulless.
Somebody
heartless.
better have died when I get up there. Because if it's a fucking some
This
guy
guy's
pulled
the fucking
over,
worst.
like, and just having a bad time with a cop, and people are slowing down, I'm gonna be pissed.
8-Bit says PT's probably my favorite PS4 game. Paint says I would want to play this. I don't know if I could play this. Wouldn't be the same if it wasn't in VR though. That's true. Idify says, can you imagine the controversy behind VR violent games? For real. Sounds scary. Paint says, oh man, and Idify says exactly. I think we're talking about the body thing. The comments are catching up. Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah. Serves you right. Making me late home. I gotta stream, goddammit.
No.
I'm gonna be late.
No. Oh, God. Seeing bodies is all. Eve Valkyrie, so, you know, I listen to podcasts and I watch a lot of video game websites and I see a lot of different opinions talk about things.
You know what? Very quickly.
Yes.
Speaking of.
Yes.
Mr. 8-Bit Abs.
Yeah, 8-Bit Abs.
Would you like to plug your own podcast? It is called The Future Boys.
Yep.
And it is quite well. You get a taste of 8-Bit, you get a taste of Abs, and it's also one of the good things about it that's really unique. These guys have people from like kind of all over the world that join their podcast.
It's international, and that's probably my favorite feature of the Future Boys podcast is being able to listen to different perspectives on different things. I think it was the last episode they were talking about the natural disasters that happen in their areas, and of course 8-Bit Abs lives in Louisiana, and they're going through a lot of flooding right now. But they talk about like earthquakes, and they talk about in Korea. They talk about don't really have a lot of natural disasters, but they have man-made disasters in the form of like
smog,
the smog, stuff like that. A lot of really interesting stuff. So I would definitely check out the Future Boys podcast.
Oh shit, he's not here anymore. Well, oh wait, yeah, he is.
Yeah, he's still there.
Well, plug it here. Of course, link.
Yeah, throw a couple of links to your SoundCloud, or you can catch it on iTunes as well if you listen to podcasts through your phone. But to talk about Eve Valkyrie for just a second, so. What I was saying is like all these different video game.
I've always hated space sims.
Yeah,
but this looks fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like, thinking of it in VR. Like,
yeah, exactly. And everyone who, you know, all these guys that I watch and talk to, they weren't necessarily believers in VR, just like your average person is not. It's like,
the 180 that I have done within the last 3 months would fucking kill the average person from how the velocity of it.
So they say that Eve Valkyrie is the game or the experience that changes the whole thing for you. People have called it a religious experience, that it completely changes the way you feel about video games.
I was molested.
So,
it was, yes, exactly.
This is where you can see your. So they say this is the one. This is the one that makes you actually feel like you're there. I really want an opportunity to play this PlayStation experience in December. I did not get to.
I feel like this is one of those games where I would feel like a fucking idiot after I took off the headset. Because it'd be like, you'd be making those involuntary noises of like going on a fucking roller coaster.
Yeah.
Like I said, I just can't believe myself, like the 180 that I pulled in this. I literally wanted nothing to do with VR no less than 3 months ago. And now I'm so fucking hyped.
What's really awesome is the Oculus Rift also comes with 2 free games, and Eve Valkyrie is one of those 2 games. So this will probably be the first thing that you ever experience.
Now, I gotta figure out for you guys how I'm gonna stream it.
I mean, it works like it streams just like any other game.
Right, but
the difference is you won't have the ability to interact with chat.
So I might have to have someone here reading chat to me and stuff. But also, like, you just get to see me look like a fucking boob. Be like,
nothing new there.
Right, no, but like a blind boob. That's... Come on. I
Just
have
to
a
hit some
reputation to
comments.
withhold. I can
Will
see.
you click back?
This is my reputation,
I
man.
click back. Is there a way to scroll up here? Apologies for my ignorance. This is an even closer merging of fantasy and reality. Would be hell of an argument. Some fuck will blame VR for their son's gun rampage. I can totally see that happening. Ankit says, as in Eve Online, Eve? I don't believe...
Jesus, that is gonna happen.
I don't believe it will be. Pate says, most definitely. We can't kid ourselves into saying it won't happen. I mean, come on. Yeah, they're actually talking about coming out with a new rating system for PlayStation.
Yeah, I talked about that.
with
It's
all
the
VR.
comfortability thing. Yeah.
And like, they did announce that you should not play if you were under the age of 12. Which I was like, oh man, I'm gonna put my headset on my like 1-year-old and see how it. But then I'm like, oh wait, I probably shouldn't.
Didn't they try that? Didn't they pitch that concept in fucking Donnie Darko? Seth Rogen, a young Seth Rogen, the dream goggles.
Yeah.
Remember that shit?
And Eve.
It was stupid
badass.
then, and it's stupid now.
Is Eve Valkyrie in the same world as Eve Online? I don't believe it is. Like, can you interact? I don't believe you can. I think it's a thing. 8-Bit says, thanks. Here's the podcast. Really excited about VR, but more excited about videos of people playing VR. Paint says, wow, he looks fracking incredible. Ankit says, LOA DKP playing with the Rift on someone reading comments and randomly inserting things in his mouth.
No, so this is another thing I'm actually... It's kind of almost similar. It has to do with what Ankit was talking about. So I'm actually really excited for VR for another reason. So people, when they're so drawn into something, very much like when you sleep, when you nap, right? You know that shit called nap mouth, where it's like somebody came and just kind of like dipped their nuts in your mouth and absorbed like all the moisture out, and you got like hairs in it somehow. And it's like, how are the pubes in my teeth? I didn't do this.
How did I get these pubes in here?
How'd those get there? But you know, people that are playing VR, right? Like, let's say Tommy's here playing. There's gonna be parts where he's like just so immersed that he's going, and I'm gonna have the best time just putting my finger in people's mouths when they're not fucking expecting it.
Dude, I'm gonna do it while you're watching porn.
Goddamn happy. Yeah, because you're.
And I'm just gonna stick my
See,
actual dick.
But that's I think what Ankin brought up earlier. You're gonna come over for Prep 8, and I'm gonna think, well, he gets off at 6. I got time, and I'm not gonna know you walked in. I had to find. There's your use case, right? And then. Yeah, Tommy's apparently going to come in and put his penis in my mouth.
That South Park episode where I think it's Cartman takes a picture with his dick in people's mouth, like while they're sleeping.
Oh yeah, then calls
him gay. You're fucking gay.
No, but you see, but if Tommy did do that, I would be inclined to commit a gun violence crime. But
violence.
Then I would gun violence. You know, one time
I'm gonna gun violence you.
One time VKP and I were out to like our anniversary dinner, and I used to have a joke where I'd be like, "I'm gonna domestic violence the shit out of you when we get home." And I got pretty drunk, and I was just joking with the waiter, thinking he'd like my same sense of humor, like you guys would, right? You guys get it. And he was like, "Well, you guys have a good night tonight?" And I was like, "Well, good so far. I'm gonna go home and domestic violence her later, but we'll see." And obvious joke. That dude fucking he was so pissed off looking at me the whole time.
He probably jerked
and
off.
I've never been back to the Cheesecake Factory since. But anyways, no, but that's the thing. That will be the gun violence, and you can trace it back to it's all the fault of the Rift, baby. Yes, let's move on.
Ankit says he Googled it. No, don't move on yet, because we didn't even fucking talk about cool. Ankit says I Googled it. Eve Valkyrie is in the Eve Online world. Good to know. So, yeah, let's rewatch this Golem trailer real quick. So, Golem is a PlayStation VR exclusive. When people were talking about VR games, this is one that they talked about is going to be similar to, I don't know, it's gonna feel like a game. A lot of this kind of stuff.
It's like immersion, like a simulator.
Yeah, and this is going to have it's gonna feel gamey.
Gamey.
Like you're gonna have a character that's in, from the back perspective, third person, stuff like that.
And Oculus pulls into the lead. I'm telling you, man. I think
Eve Online is actually going to be available. I believe it's on everything. I mean, Eve Valkyrie. I know for a fact it's on PSVR. and Oculus Rift, but it comes free with Oculus Rift.
Well, maybe
I'm pretty sure it's on.
maybe the HTC Vive can fucking bring it home.
To me, the big thing for that is that it's Valve, so it's gonna have like integration with Steam.
Yeah, it's Valve, sure, but the thing is, like, they should have marketed that fucking better. It should be the Valve Vive, which that would sound stupid, or Valve just Valve VR.
Yeah, Valve VR sounds cool.
Or Valor. Valor. They called the fucking Valor. It's like Valve, you know.
There you go.
HTC, if you're watching.
That's a cool name.
Let me unbrand your shit. Hire me. Or you can, of course, I can be contracted on behalf of Donda Incorporated.
Yep. All right, let's move on. Edge of Nowhere. So this is an
legit
Oculus...
ass.
Yep, Rift needs to shut up and take my money after that one. So Edge of Nowhere.
VVR. There you go.
Is Insomniac Games, the creators of the Ratchet & Clank games and Sunset Overdrive on Xbox and the Resistance franchise, and they are making an exclusive Oculus Rift game.
You know what I never get tired of seeing?
What's that?
Somebody making games like, right, when somebody walks and does this because there's wind in their face, and then they're carrying a torch. It's like, I know we got that in Tomb Raider, but I gotta be honest, I can never get enough of it. Kentucky Bluegrass says, I'm on PCP right now, and I'm happy as hell, but I have no clue what to do, so I got on Twitch. How y'all doing?
Man, we're doing
probably not as good as you.
Nope.
But more power to you, sir.
Well, what's going to be fantastic for you, Kentucky Bluegrass, is that in the next few months, you'll be able to take PCP and then get in virtual reality.
That's what our episode is about tonight.
Our whole episode tonight is around VR, so hang out, check out some of these cool trailers for VR games that we're going over. And see how trippy they look not in VR. To imagine 10 times that.
Yeah. And I'll say this as well. If somehow you're so fucked up that you want to follow the channel, feel free to.
Yeah,
make sure you come back, shoot the shit. That was
Edge of Nowhere. It looks like kind of a survival game.
Right.
We didn't really talk a whole lot about it. Like I said, it's made by the guys who make Ratchet and Clank and all those kind of fun games. But it's an Oculus Rift exclusive, which is really interesting to see them jumping into that camp.
Yeah.
So PCP Vive, take my money. This is Lucky's Tale. So, I talked about how the Oculus Rift is going to come with 2 free games. The first one being Eat Valkyrie. The second one is Lucky's Tale. And I think Lucky's Tale, like...
What are they doing to us, man?
I'm actually insanely excited.
But can they not stop twisting the knife in the wound that is Conquer? I'm
actually... I mean, he kind of looks more like Tails from Sonic to me with fewer tails. I'm actually really excited to see that we're getting things like 3D platformers in VR. This is a VR exclusive, and it is an Oculus Rift exclusive. So
yeah, that's what I don't understand. How exactly it's going to feel to play games that are like that in VR, right? Because I can imagine the simulator aspect, right? But these are the ones that I just kind of don't get how that's going to look or work, or how VR is going to lend to it. Maybe, the way you look with the tracking and all that, maybe that's what moves the camera. I don't know. But I guess that's TBD.
I'm a huge fan of 3D platformers. Is this
trailer just repeating twice?
I'm a huge fan of 3D platformers, so that game is right up my alley. That's definitely one I'm really anxious to check out.
In regards to following the channel, he said, at least I'll need at least another trip to be that fucked up. Conker's bad VR day. Well, Conker's bad fucking last decade with... What was it? Project Spark and that new was it Google Cardboard? The recently leaked footage of the Conker
it's some Microsoft game.
We'll have to talk about that next.
Like
we'll have to bring that up next prep date.
I'm not talking about Google Cardboard.
No, I'm talking about the Conker.
I know, just telling you to bring that shit up.
All right, fair enough.
Robinson the Journey. So this game looks really
by the title alone, I've never been more intrigued by a game. Robinson
the Journey. I think it's like a Robinson Crusoe kind of.
Oh.
So this is a
Robinson Revelations.
This is a PlayStation VR exclusive. So we do have some HTC Vive exclusives in here as well. Wanted to try to get a little bit of variety to it. And that's something that I'm really concerned about if I fall in love with VR, of wanting to get all 3. I have the PS4 and the Xbox One and the Wii U,
dude, okay,
because I love, I want to experience all the exclusives all over the place, and I'm so worried that I'm gonna want
don't be worried. Okay, I'll tell you what, it's like
to be able to experience all these games.
It's like the very first time you go and you buy a fleshlight. You're like, wow, this is really expensive. I don't even know if this will be worth it. Can't believe I'm doing this. This is so expensive. And then eventually you have a collection. And, you know, all of them have their own little nice merits.
Yep.
It's great. And don't be ashamed of it.
No, I'm not ashamed of it. I just don't have $2,000 to drop.
Yeah, you better get $2,000.
Oh, and, you know, we can just, like, claim all of them for Chainsaw 8.
Or you can write them up on taxes, sure, but because they will be used.
Page by Pixel's real mad at me for hating on the fucking piece of cardboard shit-ass fucking...
Dick-ass, bitch-ass,
it's really bumming me out that Xbox hasn't mentioned anything about
hoe-ass, dick and booty-ass, cardboard.
Yeah, I was listening to a podcast today that was talking about Microsoft and Nintendo not taking that VR plunge yet, and, you know, if they find...
Well, Nintendo eventually will in, like, 5 years. Just like online. They just got to online correctly.
Give them about 25 years. You can't
expect them to fucking hit VR. Just
they're going to go a different direction. They're going to make a fucking... Somebody said it on that it looked like a... Fuck, I can't remember. But basically, their controller prototype looks like something with nipples.
Well, it also reminds me of... You remember the Wii, like, little... it was like the controller that came with the Wii. The Pro controller was just like... Whoop. Yeah. It's like, really? Do you... Curved surfaces? Like, that's not fucking...
Well, the joysticks didn't look that great either, but that's a topic for another
We'll see.
So
Headmaster.
I wanted to make sure that I included Headmaster.
Now, you remember how I said on the previous one, like, wow, I've never been so intrigued by a game title before. Robinson. This, title alone, I am very intrigued.
So I've only had one experience with VR, and it was at PlayStation Experience, and it was Headmaster. So you didn't get to choose the game. They just said, "Here's a game."
This is the beginning of fucking Train Spotting, or what?
So, well, it does have like a similar humor to like a Portal, I guess. So
wait, this isn't about sucking dick at all, is it?
Nope, no dick sucking. So if you see,
you know what? Fine, you go.
Yeah, please.
This is fucked.
So, if you look at it, you can kind of tell he's like swinging his head towards it. So I put the headset on, and the guy is like, okay, so these balls are going to fly at your head, and you're just going to swing your head.
So you told me this, and that's why I was fucking hyped.
Yeah.
But no, this is not at all what you described.
So
this is soccer.
I do it.
This is not fellatio.
And I feel really dumb doing it. And then about 30 seconds into playing it, I forget where I am, and I feel like I'm like actually there.
All jokes aside, this does look like it'd be fucking pretty fun.
Yeah, I actually, like, by the time it was done, I was having so much
nice
fun.
VR Pong. I don't know, man.
Now,
you got beach balls in there.
This game was extremely fun. So, I mean, obviously, it's not one of those games that's going to, like, hold up extremely well. Like, oh, I spent 30 hours playing Headmaster. But it is a nice game to show people, and since it doesn't require controller input, it's just the sensors or the accelerometers in it pick up the motion of your head.
It's all the blast processing.
Yeah,
that's the.
But I enjoyed it.
Oh, holy fuck! I just saw something.
What?
So you know, like when a video ends and it shows like, hey, here's the
there's about 700.
There was
videos.
a fucking. There's a game on Steam where like you play as sharks and shit.
Yeah, there's a game called
fucking dude. VR shark cage,
and it like takes you down with sharks.
That is like one of my. It's like a phobia of mine. There's open water like that. Like fuck that.
There's a game like that where you're trapped in a cave as well. That's what terrifies me is the idea of like being trapped in a cave or being like claustrophobic, stuck in an area without air.
So you wouldn't be interested in going to like the catacomb Paris?
Fuck no.
Peggy 12.
So this is Rig. This is kind of it's Rig's mechanized combat league.
Riggs.
So
Riggs. Sorry, lethal weapon. Anybody? Okay. So. Okay. Said Riggs.
So
disregard.
I would say if they have an esports game, this would be it. It's kind of like a mixture of a sports game that has like there's a ball that you take and then you take it to a specific goal and you try to score. But everybody has guns as well, so
Finding Nemo
Armored Core VR would be amazing. Finding
that
Nemo VR.
that'd be still like scared shit. I mean, can't do it.
So it is first person. This trailer doesn't really show first person stuff, but there was a first person trailer, but it had like real life people with VR headsets on, like playing it, and they were like, "Go left, go left," and it was one of those like really cheesy scenarios.
Where
they're like it's showing them experience the game.
No, oh no, it's Captain Hook. Don't worry, we'll get him next time. Remember that when they first unveiled the Kinect, it was the kids playing the Disney.
Exactly, it had that.
It's
like
very
a fake
scripted.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I didn't want to use that trailer. to me, this like
No, we should have.
This gave
great.
a good example of what this game actually is. I mean, it doesn't show what playing it is like, but it is first person, and you can kind of see.
I feel like when you advertise VR games, though, I feel like if it's not a gameplay trailer, fuck off. Like, what's the point? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what draws you. I don't know. We'll see.
PS4 for the
So yeah,
players.
Riggs looks interesting.
Riggs.
It is important to note
I'm getting too old for this shit. Okay.
two particular things. One, I hear that it is the game
Good shit.
that gives you
Motion sickness. Maybe?
motion sickness really bad.
Yeah.
And then when I was at PSX, there was a group of people playing Riggs, and there was one part where I was walking by the booth, and they were putting a guy on a stretcher, and he was like shaking, like he had like
Now that's a game. It can give you Parkinson's. That's fucking
not
rad.
quite Parkinson's, but you know, it looked like he'd had like a fucking whatever.
Too good a time. He was partying his way
So, yeah, they
right
were
out of
loading
the
this
fucking
guy on
convention center.
a stretcher that was like shaking, and they were like trying to give him water and stuff.
This
He had,
man
like, a
just
fucking-
can't stop jiving. We
he-
gotta get him out of here.
He had a fucking panic attack.
He's
So-
too hyped. We must remove him immediately.
I think it's worth noting that that game has a chance to make you sick. So
So this game also has a wonderful title. Call of the Starseed, the Gallery EP1.
the guy on the stretcher played a game where you see the face of God. So this is an HTC Vive exclusive game, and you know I didn't really know anything about it. I was just googling HTC Vive games, and it
Why don't
looked
they just give them
semi-interesting.
fucking forearms?
Just because they would probably look funky.
I mean, this looks fucking funky if you want to
Yeah,
call
but
it that.
at least as far as the art style is concerned, like it looks pretty neat.
And also, I'd like to point out one other thing. You know how particular I am about, like, when I see a stupid face on the cover art, it really upsets me.
Yeah. That Blackbeard looking motherfucker.
Look at
right
this
there.
shit!
Look at this shit.
That's not how a person looks. Looks like Cube World. You guys remember that shit?
That's what,
Or
I
Cube
think
Z?
I
Cube
think it's
Z?
supposed to have like a
Of
particular type of cartoony art style.
course they wouldn't have forearms in it. Why would they?
Is that Rayman?
Dude, no shit.
good.
I don't know what to say about that one.
It's I thought it looked interesting. I thought the
It's
art style was cool.
Dude, all of these games, just because they're VR,
Yeah,
are at least interesting.
for sure.
It-
All right, let's go. Let's keep going.
Now, this one I have seen before.
Yep.
I'm watching all these for the first time. And I have seen this one, and I am fucking stoked for it.
Yeah, this is
I
gonna be
love
hilarious.
Surgeon Simulator. I Am Bread was okay.
This has got the Rayman thing
Fucking-
going on too.
Dude, this is the best.
What's cool is it's not just like office jobs. There's like surgeons, and there's like multiple different jobs that you're gonna.
Oh,
be
dude,
able to
Surgeon
experience.
Simulator is a dead ringer for like a good
Surgeon
fucking
Simulator
VR
will
game.
actually be on VR. I think it'll be on everything. So yeah, you just get to do a bunch of silly shit. And this is not an exclusive. This is coming to PlayStation VR, but I believe it's coming to all three.
The thing is about Surgeon Simulator, it's kind of weird. It's on VR, and you can do all this shit, right? Doesn't that defeat the purpose? Because the whole point of Surgeon Simulator is that the controls are so you have to like lower like a crane that you just fuck everything up. I feel like if they make it to where you can be competent in these,
Yeah.
it'll
I don't
lose
think
its
you will
appeal.
be competent. I think it's gonna.
They'll
be,
find some way to hinder you where you can't. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be a fun, silly game. That's the kind of game that your in-laws come
Last
over
day
and
at
you
the
show
office
them.
job simulator.
Stapler fight.
It was my last day at the office today.
Fucking congrats, bruh.
Thank you very much.
Did you?
And
Fuck you. Fuck you.
no,
You should have.
I'm not really in the bridge
should
burning
have.
business. Plus, my wife
Your wife
still
works
works
there?
there, so I had to keep that in mind.
Man,
Otherwise, I
working with the
probably
wife.
just wouldn't have fucking came into work. You know, that's the thing. I did not have the foresight to think, yeah, I'll fucking have my last day is the 18th when St. Patty's Day is the fucking 17th. Fuck was I thinking? I should have fucking said yesterday.
Pev says
My last
congrats.
day. Thank you very
So,
much.
Arizona Sunshine.
Here comes let's say in
Pinky
before I
is now
define
official
bums
ball.
and breadwinner comments. You better believe it, baby.
So
Except I'm living
Arizona
off my own
Sunshine reminds me of Dead Island or Dying Light.
Wait,
This is exclusive.
Whoa! What's that? That's highlighted in the middle. Is that a? Why, by God, it is! That's a Z that's pointed out very specifically. Because it's Z! It's on. Ah, look at this! It's great! It's like VRZ!
Yep. So this game is exclusive to.
Let's watch that
Vive.
trailer again, though.
You're like, this looks interesting, but I'm ripping on it so hard. That
No,
I'm not
it's
paying
just that
attention.
we had a whole segment of an episode dedicated to that sort of shit. Which, by the way, if anyone wants to go back and watch the archive of that on YouTube, it's the last Day Z, or the 16th Day Z was what the episode's called.
Yeah.
And wasn't that our 16th episode?
It was
Man, that was a killer title.
7 weeks ago.
Yes. Did it freeze for anyone else? I fucking hope not. Yeah. I think that this, but I will say, like, this sort of game, like zombie kind of apocalypse sort of shit, once again, super stoked for this sort of thing on fucking VR.
Adify says he's good on his end, so we're good.
All right, Ankin, try refreshing, pal. That hopefully should fix it there.
So this is GT Sport. This is not a place. I mean, this is a PlayStation exclusive, but it is not a VR exclusive. What?
I was just looking at time,
Checking at the time.
making sure we're not running too long over.
Gotcha. We're
But
definitely.
we're
This
good.
is a long one though. So, like I said, it's not a VR exclusive game, but it will support VR. So, you get to go.
Dude, we get to drive those? I swear to Christ, if we get to drive those in VR,
Zombie catches you watching.
it's like a period piece sort of thing.
I'll come back later. Tell your brains not to go anywhere. I'll give me some back.
Yeah, looks like no gameplay.
Well,
here.
this is
I did a great job picking a trailer.
this is real footage.
Here we go. Here's a game.
Oh boy! Oh, this is the best sort of music. It sounds like a saxophone being fucking shit into, but it's actually a person.
Did you see that guy?
Who the fuck listens to that?
A lot of people.
Well, fucking a lot of people
Dude,
should.
you listen to like 2 types of music. Don't talk about it. You're not allowed to talk. You know how everybody's like,
You
I listen
fucking
to.
telling me how to live their
No,
life?
everybody's like, I listen to a little bit of everything.
No, I don't.
You are the only person that's like, I have 2 types of music that I listen to, and everything else is shit.
That's not true. But it's farther away. It's
Closer to the truth.
It's closer to the truth than not, but it's not true. I'd say there's like 5.
Yeah.
If you include like
Rockabilly, or what's the one that sounds exactly like rockabilly?
there's psychobilly, and there's like punk rock, and then
Yeah,
oi,
those are all
and then.
basically.
But I also like classical music because I play violin, and also Hotline
Never
Miami
heard him
has
listen to
gotten me into
Never heard him listen to
It's-
fucking any classical music.
some things I listen to more when I work. I don't have to fucking justify myself to you little
He's
bitch.
doing it though, isn't he?
No, I'm moving on.
He's doing it. So yeah, we were talking about games that you're not really into, that VR could get you into. So I think a racing game is a great example.
Yeah, no.
Oh, a racing game! I want to check it out.
Oh, you know what? Hold on. I thought I went on to this. I think this deserves a little bit of like
Just went to the end.
preamble, if you
Okay.
will. And if you won't, get the fuck out.
So Until Dawn, extremely
Yeah,
awesome.
I
game.
saw this linked today. Yeah, you talk about Until Dawn, and then I'll
Until Dawn.
We do need to describe what that is.
Really solid, a lot better than you would think it would be. It's basically like watching an 80s horror movie that takes place over the course of 8 hours. You get to make these decisions, and then if you make good decisions, you can end up with your entire party of 8 people living, or you can end up with all of them dying.
If you guys remember Heavy Rain, or if you guys remember Indigo Prophecy,
Has like a Walking Dead, like Telltale kind of thing. It's like an adventure game or whatever.
yeah. So it was great.
It's really good. Way better than it has any business being.
That's absolutely true. Now, here's the thing about this though. I got really excited when I saw the link for this. It was like, hey, Until Dawn Rush of Blood fucking reveal trailer. And I thought,
Oh, yes.
wow,
A new Until Dawn
DLC?
game.
Like, or maybe an expansion. Maybe you play it from the opposite perspective of whatever. Not to spoil shit. This is great. I can't, let's take a look.
Yep.
And this is what it is.
Just play the fucking thing.
Now
Look
we're
at this
going.
guy.
Don't you tread on me. Don't you dare stifle me. Yeah, this is what it is. I about shit when I saw it.
So, it's actually an on-rails game, and I think all that's live action. But it's an on rails game.
Yeah, no, the real game does not look.
And when I say on rails, I mean you literally sit in like a
fucking.
You sit in like a golf, like a fucking not golf cart, a mine cart.
Rush of blood.
You sit in a mine cart.
Is it?
You can tell at the bottom of the screen that the guy's actually sitting in something. DKP has a shoulder pad. So yeah, you sit in a mine cart. You basically just ride this mine cart through. You shoot at shit. Then it'll stop and then scary things happen.
It's a very different style of game. But
looks like shit.
It's a
Here's the
fucking
thing.
House of the Dead.
Yeah, on rails. Oh, like Pokemon Snap. It is like Pokemon Snap.
Why give it the until? And even look there.
And that's the thing.
It barely
Take off that
even
Until Dawn
shows. Like, it's so small to begin with. Normally, when they do this sort of shit, right? Until Dawn's huge, and then Rush of Blood is little. This is like, what the fuck you, man? It's like, fuck you. I got the fact that you got me excited for this shit.
And you know that's part of the strategy, man. You like
No, what to be? You have to be against this?
No, you're just against everything, as we talked about very recently.
Sure.
But you go, oh crap, there's a VR game that's based on Until Dawn. I'm in.
Great. Oh,
As we were developing Until Dawn
on rails?
and developing the VR
yes, sir.
experiences simultaneously, we worked out what
let's see. Mama always said to get things done, you better not mess with Major
And then,
Tom.
as we were working that out, it became really obvious that the world and the
shit.
characters and the environments we were creating.
I know what he did and good,
would be a
but I
really
think
great
he
fit
mistyped that,
for
though.
putting in a completely different world and delivering
So
this
roller
type
coaster
of
the game?
experience.
Yes, except
Indigo Prophecy
roller
is
coasters are crazy.
a you must play this game. Yeah, actually, I tried to stream that. That was, you know, every now and again, if you guys keep up with the stream, you know, nightly, I know a lot of you guys do. Every now and again, just have those nights where it's a fucking just disaster one after the other.
Yep.
Tuesday was one of those. The last time I tried to stream Indigo Prophecy was one of those.
So
yeah.
Ankit says they do not want to be associated with it, but they got a shit ton of money for it, is what the title tells me. Yeah, so that's basically it for VR. We're going to jump into games you should have played. That's our weekly segment where we bring up a game that didn't get a whole lot of love or not a lot of people talked about. It's an opportunity to kind of sell people on or tell people to go back and play it. And, it gives us an opportunity to talk about some of our most beloved gems that are kind of hidden.
And if you like that sort of thing, definitely go check out our YouTube channel. I've made some videos there throughout the years that it's called Games You Should Have Played series.
Yep.
And they're decent. I don't know.
So last week...
Some people have described them as good. I don't know. I don't like to
AI.
toot my own horn.
AI.
I'll blow myself, but I don't want to like toot my own horn. That's
so
weird.
last week I had a bit of a family emergency and had to right in the middle of Prep 8. This week, luckily, I made
you really
it.
left me hanging.
But
there,
you did okay. You did okay. I went back and watched it. You did fine.
Thank you.
I wanted an opportunity to actually talk about this game because it didn't seem like a whole lot of people played it. So I was like, "Hey DKP, can we do Dark Sector again?" And he was like, "Yeah, fool, yeah." So here we are doing Dark Sector again. Hit play, maestro.
Yes.
So Dark Sector came out in 2007, which is a little bit right after the PS3 and Xbox 360 launch. So within a year of it coming out. So you don't get a whole lot of games then. And immediately just looking at the game, it reminded me of Resident Evil, specifically Resident Evil 4. That kind of over the shoulder.
Minus the sort of like super futuristic glaive. Yeah.
Yeah, appreciate it. Just FYI, you guys need to redo last week's topic. Maybe we'll do it again in the future.
I think what we could do, even maybe it's just an offside segment. We could start where we left off, and you could just give your perspective on the ones that you missed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Maybe we'll do a little redux. So yeah, as you can see, this is very similar to Resident Evil 4, but you can just badass blade that you can throw and cut people in half, cut their heads and legs off.
So is the game?
It plays like Resident Evil.
Well, this is the sort of shit that I wish like you were here when I was.
Absolutely.
This is the question I want to know. Can you do like a full glaive playthrough? Because that looks.
I believe you can. Yes.
I mean, like, even if it's difficult, like, is the game set up to where you could, like, the glaive's viable enough?
I probably haven't played it since 2008, but yeah, I believe that you can. The glaive reminds me of Krull. Yeah, and actually they talked about Krull being an inspiration for the glaive. And if you look at the glaive from Krull and the glaive from this, they were very similar. So, one of the things I like is that the glaive can pick up different elements. So if you throw it into, there's like ice canisters or whatever, then it has the ability to freeze enemies. If you throw it into fire, then it turns on fire and it can catch enemies on fire. You can throw it into like generator boxes and it'll catch electricity. You can shock enemies, stuff like that. And then you fight just like different demons and weird shit like that throughout.
One other thing here. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Does the guy walk any faster than this?
Yeah, there's a run option.
Because throughout the whole trailer, I mean,
think it's building up atmosphere.
Yeah, it's just.
Yeah, see him run right there.
But also, he's just.
It's like Resident Evil. Like
this dude
Resident
is in
Evil.
really no hurry to get anywhere.
I mean, he doesn't have to. He's got a badass weapon.
He doesn't have to. He can ride his blade
Cole's
like
a
the
5-point
fucking Nimbus
glaive.
if he needs to.
Correct. Ankin says, is that the Winter Soldier? He does look similar to the Winter Soldier.
So, have you looked up pricing on this at all? Or
no, but my guess is that you can get it for like $5.
It's $360, right?
$360 PS3,
Okay.
and I believe it's on PC. You may have to look into
Really?
it. Yeah, maybe one of those that we do on a stream or something.
Yeah,
sometime.
that'd be killer.
I highly recommend checking it out. It is a bit older. It is going to feel a bit dated, but it doesn't look too bad, all things considered.
I'm not 100% sold because I've never played it.
For sure.
But you using Resident Evil to sell it,
Yeah.
it's a good. Wait, hold on. Not RE6 though, right?
No.
RE4 maybe.
Yeah. It felt like
I'd
RE4.
even take RE5.
$9.99
Okay.
on Steam, says Ankin.
Excellent. Yeah. Coming to a Monday sometime near you. Yeah, that'd be fucking great.
Yeah. So games you should have played worked. I at least convinced one person to check it out.
You know, it'd also be
Yay.
cool, like a decent idea for moving forward. If we don't, if we reach those scenarios where me and you stream on Mondays.
Yep.
It's like, what the fuck do we play? Maybe it should be like we should check out some of the games you should have played entries that we've done.
Yeah,
it'd be pretty neat.
Give some
We
more
don't
context
necessarily have to
to
beat them in one go or whatever, but just show them, show them more.
For sure.
Might be neat.
I do want to point out this game didn't review very well. It's also kind of short, like 5-6 hours ish. But
Fair
didn't
enough.
stop it from being great to me. So,
Well, that being said,
you ready to move on to everybody's favorite topic?
everybody's most beloved favorite. Hold on, I got.
Is that that BioShock collection legit? Yes, the BioShock collection is legit.
You want to talk about fucking good cover art? I'm sure everyone saw the box art for that.
Yeah.
That
It's got
looks
fucking Rapture
great.
below and Columbia above
Yeah.
the light tower in the water.
I mean, Columbia can fuck off, but it looks tremendous.
All right, we ready?
You
You guys ready for Win Stuff Money? While he's prepping some stuff right now, I'll go over the rules. Win Stuff Money is our weekly $25 Amazon gift card giveaway. The way it works is we pop open this badass book right here, 1001 video games you should play before you die. Not all the games in there. Yeah, not all the games in there are worth playing. And what we do is I read off the synopsis from the game title, and I omit words that would make it a little too revealing. And it is your job as the viewer to guess the game that I'm talking about. The first person to correctly respond to the game. Now, if there's a spelling error here or there, no big deal. Then you get
as
a $25
long as we
Amazon
know
gift card.
you actually knew what it was.
And several people in this room have won that gift card before, so you can ask them. They can say that we are legit. We hook these people. We hook the people's up.
now, and we're also all of our people that have won, at least the last 5, are available on our panels. If you guys want to ask personally. One important thing to note: if it is a franchise, right, or a let's say it is Dark Souls 2, and you think, oh fuck, this is gotta be Dark Souls, and you say Dark Souls, you didn't say 2. Sorry, this is specific.
Yep.
You don't have to name the franchise. It is the specific entry.
Go for that 3-peat, says Ankin. Yeah, Idefy and Ankin have both won twice. So let's see how it goes. Everybody ready to do some Win Stuff Money? Go ahead and hit that button and go to our next slide.
Now this
please.
one is
Don't hit it too many times.
oh yeah, being careful. It is a little bit difficult.
I don't think
to
it's that
some.
bad. I think it was a little difficult
It
for you, but I don't
really
think
it just
it's that bad.
depends on the person.
All right, let's do this. Video games offer experiences that are literally magical in that they allow you to try things out that you could never do in real life. Shooting at cowboys from a speeding stagecoach, speeding through deep space with a talking frog for a wingman, or immersing yourself in the speed and splendor of snowboarding with no danger of caving your head in against a rock. For many virtual extreme sports enthusiasts, snowboarding might begin and end with EA's brilliantly exaggerated SSX series, but Blank represents a different approach. Dialing down the elaborate caricature of the sport, Blank is a stylish downhill racer. Built by the team that made Blank, and produced by Blank. Sorry, lots of blanks here, but a lot of stuff gives it away. The game benefits from some handsome frosty mountain ranges, a robust world that can zip by at a real pace, and a cluster of trick and race. Hey!
There you go.
1080 snowboarding.
Yeah, that
1080.
So it's funny, when Tom was reading that to me, I guessed it right, but it was like, I was like, the only reason why I know that game is because I remember passing it by in the video store back in the days when, you go to rentals.
Yep.
I never ran into it. I will never forget the specific cover art of it because I always saw it fucking right there. So yeah.
So this game is actually super
Hard
awesome.
for me
One of the
to
first
know,
N64 games I had. It is made by Nintendo. Shigeru Miyamoto was the designer on it. He did this after he did Wave Race 64.
I didn't know fucking Shigeru.
Yeah.
Oh, huh.
Yep.
Interesting.
Bastard got the 3-peat. Played the shit out of this game as a kid. All the fun costumes you could get. Work your body, work your body. That's from the game, by the way. Donkin, probably the only person that got that. But,
all right.
Yeah, it's a super awesome game. And congratulations, Onken. Your third gift card will be
You're the current champ now.
Will be coming to you shortly.
And this week, it's your week to buy.
Yep.
Bitch!
Oh, I don't mind, baby. I got paid.
Bitch!
I got paid. So, I guess we can move on to the Q&A portion of Preparation 8 before we close the show out. So, I do want to take an opportunity now while people are queuing up their questions or things they want to talk about to go into a little bit more about VR. So, VR in the gaming space is super interesting and fascinating.
Sure.
What's even more interesting or fascinating to me are the prospects outside of video games. So we did touch on, we have touched on VR porn. We have touched on things like using Facebook in VR. But things like something that somebody brought up on a stream I was watching was being able to go to a concert. So if a vendor, concert stage area has VR cameras that allow you to kind of be able to go to the concert and actually experiencing it, like close-up shots of the band. Imagine charging $5-10 for any show that they would play at that venue. You're talking like potentially millions of dollars once VR gets in the hands of a lot of people. I know I would personally, concerts can get a little overwhelming with the amount of people and the insanity and the mosh pits. Definitely in my younger years, I was all about it. But as I've gotten a lot older, I'm a sit in the back kind of guy and watch from afar. So being able to actually get close up at a concert and being able to see and experience it live with an audience in virtual reality, I'll pay $5-10 to be able to watch some of my favorite bands. So I think that's a really super interesting way to use it. I also think things like when it comes time to, hey, I'm going to buy this house, and then you can do a VR tour of the house. I think that's really interesting. Vacations, things like, if you have family members that can't travel, once VR cameras are a plausibility as far as buying a VR camera and installing it in a house.
Another thing with that, imagine MMA fights or some shit, right?
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
Imagine it literally looks like you're in the corners of the ring. You can switch camera angles or whatever, to where it's like people fighting and brawling 6 feet in front of you.
Yep.
Right. That would also be tremendous. Or another thing. Sorry, I was listening to you. Or with all that.
We'll get
so excited.
Keep thinking about it. I'll hit some comments.
Matter.
We'll come back to it. Idify says, who bought the book you guys are reading off of? My wife bought it for me for Christmas one year. Probably 3 years ago or so.
Oh, I was going to say, imagine, GoPros are a big thing.
Yeah.
Right. Now,
skydiving and shit. Ooh.
Well, I'm saying live events where the GoPro's being used, and that's streamed via the internet to where, you can kind of almost at a first-person perspective of, let's say, this might even be good enough to where I would fucking watch NASCAR through H. Yeah. If it's there in the thing and it looks like it's actually going, maybe. But apart from that, no.
Abidab says, sit down and watch Daredevil Season 2. Saw you guys were streaming and you guys won. No regrets. Love the show. Thanks, Abidabs. As soon as I go home, I'm going to be fucking tearing into that shit. I watched the first episode this morning before going into work. Very excited. Punisher punishing fools.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, me personally, the wife is out of town this weekend.
So he's not going to watch any Daredevil.
When he leaves, I'm going to masturbate loudly.
It's true. Yeah.
Loudly.
You think he's joking? He's not
I'm not joking.
Onken says, "You too, the VR experience." That reminds me of that Maddox thing where he's like the 12 worst songs of 2011.
They were just
and it's just the
12
entire album from U2. Yeah.
You know, it's funny. I shared one of Maddox's posts. I never post on Facebook, really. Right? I'll just look just to see what people are doing, catch up with old friends, and I use it mostly for the messenger thing, right?
Yeah.
But the other day, I shared one of Maddox's posts, which was like something to the effect of, "Man, it's as much as you're tired of hearing about the other." Basically, it said like, "Shut the fuck up about your political candidate. We're all tired of hearing it. As much as you love talking about it, we're equally as tired of having to fucking hear it. Whoever you're voting for." Now, a lot of people liked that post. Not a lot, but what I mean is like very specific people that continue to post shit about political people after that. And it's like, wait a minute. So you're like, "Yo, this guy's totally right. Fucking, I'm so tired of hearing about political shit. But Bernie Sanders, but Trump, though, holy fuck. Like, I'm just tired of hearing that shit about the other." It's like, no, it's ever. Be self-aware, you piece of shit.
So,
yeah.
Let me fix our little screen here.
Oh, well, was
that? Got some green screen popping out.
Ooh.
8-Bit Ab says, "Is that cat there or just the PCP?" It's actually the PCP.
You did this to us!
Onken says, "Wait till the cameras get small enough. The fighters wear them like a headband, VR MMA first person style." Dude, get that fucking cat.
Dude, that's what she does. She cat hugs.
No, I get it.
What?
No cats on Prep 8. I will. Just get the...
Oh, no cats on Prep 8.
I'm allergic to cats.
Oh, are you really? I did not know.
Yes, I am allergic to cats. I'm totally allergic to cats.
All right.
Yeah, I think VR has a lot of strong possibilities. I think Maddox is funny.
It's, dude, honestly, the and this is gonna sound really cliche and stupid.
Yeah.
Because it is, but the possibilities of VR are relatively endless. And I mean that for like, when the internet came out, no one understood the implication of that. Like, oh well, yeah, let's look at web pages. Yeah, this loads data.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then and now look at the ridiculous things you can do
internet
with
for
the
me
internet,
in 1997 was like age, sex, location. It was chat rooms.
Yeah.
It was about connecting with people that were probably using anonymity to hide behind their sycophant things. And now it's like information at your fingertips, entertainment, like making friends, fucking this.
What people used to say was, or there's someone famous said this, I forget who was like, well, the greatest human invention that like changed humanity more than anything was like centralized plumbing, because it got people to where they weren't shitting in the streets. You know,
it started making us civilized.
Well, yeah, and infection went down. You know, all that was important.
Yeah.
But I think even more so than that, the invention of the internet,
soap.
The invention of the internet is going to be the thing that, to use a term that loosely and like ascends people to the next level of not only of just intelligence.
Yeah.
Like, until the internet was around, how the fuck would I know the goings on, not just politically, but the daily life of people in fucking Uganda?
Everything. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's come with its problems.
Oh,
entitlement,
sure.
For example.
But
that's a huge problem.
That, I think,
everybody's opinion matters.
That, I think, on the long timeline will be the thing that has the biggest effect and change on humanity, period. Now, to apply or to compare VR to the internet, I'd say is kind of inappropriate at this point in time. Sure. But what people thought the internet was gonna be, and then what it eventually turned out to be, that's, I guess, what I'm trying to say. Like,
we're at the very beginning of something,
and it's already incredible, but it hasn't even come out yet.
I think a good comparison is something like when we went to 3D gaming, like, but actually probably way bigger than that.
Right.
But like 3D gaming, you play like Mario 64 or something, you're like, wow, this is incredible. And then you look at visuals in gaming now, and they're still 3D games. The basis, the fucking structure of the games are the same as they were from like 95 to 2000.
Sure.
They've just improved in so many areas. So VR, like the structure for what it's going to be is here and how you immerse yourself in an experience. Right. But it's only going to like continue to transcend.
Just the potential applications for it.
I think the potential is actually more exciting than what it is today.
Well, but that's the thing, though. Like, we're coming up with all these cool scenarios of like, oh, you get to see a rock show, you get to see all this.
We're a bunch of fucking idiots.
All the things you can do with the internet today, no way anyone could have predicted back, like, right,
sure.
You know,
well, somebody probably did, but no one of our caliber.
Sure. But, so just to see where this thing's gonna go is pretty incredible. And like I said, the 180, like, attitude-wise, that I fucking pulled on VR in the last couple months.
Yeah. If we can go back and watch some old Prep Apes, you're like, nobody cares about VR.
It's gonna be like cell phones. The games are gonna suck. It's gonna be a
take
gimmick.
Away from video gaming.
It's the Wiimote of ways to view media.
It's a fucking... And we haven't even fully experienced yet, but we're like, oh, it's just a gimmick. Like, nah. This fucking thing is here to stay, so... Fucking pull your pants up, get your dicks out, and let's do this shit.
Rev up them dicks, boys!
So, one final comment, and then we'll do our closing speeches, arguments, whatever it is. So, geeked out about VR, but ready to hear about AR2 Pokemon Go, where I can see a Pikachu. Take my monies. Yeah, that's going to be awesome. Pull out my phone and be like, what's fucking Pikachu doing? Biting my leg right now. Peva says, I'm still waiting to try it before I put my money down, but I gotta say, getting more excited. Happy we're here to help, baby! You know, you can always come over here and try mine, if you guys wish. Anyone who lives, in the area, of course, you guys are welcome to come try it when it gets here. Just know that I've worn it, and I've masturbated while wearing it. That has happened. You just emotionally prepare yourself for that. But when you walk into my house, period, just know that he's masturbated on every surface. And that's not hyperbole either. That's factually accurate. So as far as closing is concerned, if any of you guys are new to the channel, Spider Monkey, and you guys are new, this is your first time checking us out, make sure you give us a follow. The more followers we have, the bigger we get, the better community that we can offer, the better we can have conversations and all that. But do not follow us if you don't plan on coming back. We want you guys to come back, please. We're not trying to fucking play a numbers game. If you guys want to lurk, feel fucking free as long as you guys come back. We're not going to call you out for not shooting the shit with us. But if you guys want to, feel free to shoot the shit with us. Whichever. So we're a multi-caster channel. There's 3 of us. There's the 2 of us and then VKP. Well, there's just the 2 of us and VKP, like, as a guest, comes to but she pops up at least bi-weekly. Sure. It's DKP's lovely wife. She's a gamer as well. We stream 4 nights a week. We do a couple of bro streams. 4 or 5, depending. Yeah. Come back, check out some of our other stuff. We also have a YouTube channel that you can check out. Every episode of Prep Ape, all the way from the very first one, you can go back and watch us and not know what we're talking about back then, too. All of that's available on our YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. We also have a Twitter account where you can follow us, see when we go live. But, wait a minute. Why are we saying this when somebody could put it so much better? That's true. But hold on, before we go, fellas, 8-Bit Abs, waiting for a company to go all in with the porn angle. Example, the Hitachi Masturbation Station. And there's already Fleshlight VR attachments. Look up Japan ones. Maybe I'll look one up and link it on Twitter for you or Facebook page. And finally, before we terrific. Yes. Reminder, this is the last Friday night for Preparation 8. Starting next week, it will be on Wednesday nights at 8:30. So, by the way, thank you very much for the follow. We'll hope you guys will come back. Now, I hate to do this. This is awful. But we are going to close out with a word from our sponsors. Major Tom, I'm DKP. Goodbye. Who are you? Major Tom. You already said Major Tom.
I know what all of you are thinking. You're thinking, wow, these guys are great. I want to see them every chance I can get. If only I knew where to find them. Well, I have great news. You can follow them right here on Twitch. Legend has it that they are also on YouTube and Twitter, all at Chainsaw Ape. Check out the Twitch panels for links, the streaming schedule, and also don't forget to tune in every
Wednesday night at 8:30
p.m. Central Standard Time for Preparation Ape, the live gaming talk show / podcast for your chance to win a $25 Amazon gift card. It's a real pizza, mate. All hail DKP. Zod is a beta, and Donkey Kong Country 3 is the best Donkey Kong country. I still have some time to kill here. I paid for it after all. This is the Chainsaw Ape Show. It's not the Ape Chainsaw Ape Show. This is my favorite show, and it's not my show. But seriously, folks, we've had a lot of laughs tonight. But let us not forget what is important here. It's never ogre. Chainsaw Ape is love. Chainsaw Ape is life. Well, until next time, my name is Major Tom. P.S. At ID 57. Go fudge your mother. Man! PPS and Jamzo. Your accents suck.